So we have Brett Newman with us, who's a member of the Collingwood wheelchair footy team. Brett served at the Army for 13 years, a couple of stints in East Timor, Papua New Guinea, was it?
Yeah, there was one in Papua New Guinea
And a couple
as well.
in Afghanistan.
And a trip over to Afghanistan.
There you go. A premiership player in 2018 with our with the wheelchair team, but obviously with Anzac Day in front of us, we wanted to have the opportunity to present a front that had a stronger connection from the Collingwood Football Club to Anzac Day and to the people that have sacrificed for us over the years. So, if there's a couple of questions for Brett along the way, that'd be great.
Well, Brett, have you spoken to the group at all, or?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
Just as far as as a veteran, what does the game mean to and add to Anzac Days as along with the march as well?
Yeah, look, I love Anzac Day clashes. I've followed them all my life, well since it started out and everything like that. And it's part of the tradition, as far as I'm concerned, as being a digger. You do your marches and all your ceremonies in the morning to be able to then sit down and maybe have a quiet one or two with mates and reflect on the day and watch a good game of footy and see who wins at the end of the day. So it's all about battle in the end.
And Brett said a bit different to last year as well?
Yes, yeah, very much so. Looking forward to being able to get back to the G and watch a game there and be part or feel the atmosphere within the MCG itself. So.
And you've got a little role on game day, do you?
Yeah, I'm presenting the football to the umpires, so I've got one job to do. Yeah.
And then support us, mate.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Hey, Brett, you had the chance to play Darcy more back or forward. Where were you playing?
Oh.
Where does he start?
We haven't discussed this.
We haven't discussed this. All right. Seeing his performance from last week, I really reckon maybe forward, but depends on if Essendon run over the top of him in the forward line, they could throw him in the back. So versatile player, I suppose. Yeah. How's that sound?
Yeah, maybe should have done that last week. Anyway, no.
Darcy was training with the forwards, and you said sort of last week you want to continue that. That looks like it's the plan, despite you've lost obviously Kane through suspension and how.
Yeah, I thought we made the determination off the first month of footy that we needed to change our mix in front of the ball. It's not our offence and scoring is not all on the front six. I think we need to understand that the ball use coming out of the back or even through the midfield and stoppage is a big part of being able to hit the scoreboard. But we weren't providing as consistent enough contest or options to the ball carrier, so we wanted to change that up. And one of a key part of that has been Darcy going forward, and we need to explore that more than just a couple of quarters or a one game sample. And we believe that that's a really important part of us. Being more competitive in all phases of the game. We think that our team defence has been pretty good. We think we can find a mix in our back line that's going to stand up. And if we can afford to keep Darcy forward, we'll do that.
Does that mean someone like Will Kelly gets a look down back as well?
Yeah, well, obviously Mark Keane came in last week and we'd like him to play, like him to get more opportunities and more football. Obviously with Howie going down, that hurt us a little bit last week, and we're going to have to find replacements for both Mark and for Howie. Will Kelly played back last week. Obviously Jack Madgen, who's played up on the wing, has played in that back seven quite a bit, as has Chris Mayne. So we've got some decisions to make on what the makeup of our back six looks like.
Is there an issue with Chris Bucks?
Sorry?
With Chris Mayne?
No, look, he was. He has had a knock, and so he wasn't able to complete training today, and it'll just be a matter of him proving his fitness in the next couple of days to be selected. But there is a question mark on him, yeah.
When just with Darcy, I mean, how hard is it for you? You see the absence in the back line. You've got an Australian defender.
Yep.
I mean, how hard is it to sort of not budge from your plan of keeping him up forward?
Oh, in the end, we've probably been stubborn the other way, and Darcy, having been back there for the last 18 months pretty much, and established himself as an All-Australian defender. There was a query even before settling him there whether he should be forward or back. And funnily enough, that discussion stopped when he started doing what we knew he was capable of behind the ball. And he's been pivotal for us there, there's no doubt about it. But to be honest, Jordan Roughhead's stood up and played exceptionally well early in the year. And we believe we're as stable back there as any. And we also think that the way that we defend the ground actually helps our back six. So potentially we can hold up. If we can hold up there and Darcy can do some damage forward of the ball, and as he said to me last week, just as long as no one thinks I'm going to be the white knight or the knight riding in on a white horse to go and fix it all up. So we don't see him that way. He'll be a part of our mix. He's not the total solution, but he's definitely something that can help us.
He copped a bit of that early on, didn't he, as a forward, as a young kid coming into the game?
What was that?
Just that white knight coming in.
Oh yeah, and I think that's your guys' prerogative, to be honest. I mean, it's the way that we see it, and we put players on pedestals, especially the best players. And if we see a young player with great talent, we definitely project to what we think they can be. We compare them to players that have been guns in the past, and some guys melt when that happens. Other guys thrive. And Das is someone who's always had great belief in his ability, and he's pretty good at cutting out what's not going to help him. So yeah, look, he's really motivated. He wants to do well. He's a high achiever, so he wants to have as much impact as he possibly can. So we'll give him that opportunity.
Does your hospitality need a bit more time in the VFL to find some form, or are you happy enough with how he responded last week?
Yeah, well, it's not just about form, I suppose. It's about the traits that you bring and what we need to put a balanced side on the park that is going to get the job done in our estimations. And Will's been a consistent part of our senior team. He's played wing, forward and back. We still think that he's part of our best 22. We think that his form could be better, but it's very likely that we'll see him back in the side.
What do you make of Essendon's progression this year under a new coach?
Yeah, look, I think they've played really consistent football for the most part. They've been competitive for a lot of their games, and they've pushed sides a fair way. So, look, we see them as not unlike us. It's starting to introduce some youth, finding their way, and obviously there's a new game plan potentially that's coming through, or definitely a new voice in front of them. But their best footy's pretty good. You only have to look back to that Sydney game, and they lost that in a really tight tussle. But their best footy's pretty good.
How's my check looking? His shoulder looked like it was a bit sore in the last game.
Yeah, he finished off, but he's trained out there and he's well today and he's fine.
No, Geordie out there today?
No, he's concussed, so he's obviously not able to play this week, and he still has symptoms, which is which probably ratifies the decision on the 12-day mandated period, because without it, you might, let alone coaches and administrators, but the players themselves might actually sweep some of their symptoms under the carpet. So I think it's to mandate something like that and make it absolutely black and white that you will not play the next week after you're concussed. It probably prevents a lot of grey area decisions that need to be made. Or, as I said, players just soldiering forward and making bad decisions for their long-term health or even their short-term performance, just to stay in the team and play a game of footy. So I think that's wise.
He's potentially said, I've still got a little bit of headache, or I'm still suffering some symptoms.
Well, I think you take next week off the table, so you're making decisions on what's going to be best to prepare him for the week after. There's also an argument in some situations where players that have had ongoing concussions over a period of time, that that the second week beyond that should be considered as well. So we deal with players as they present and situations as they come to light.
How's his schnoz looking?
It's looking more Buckley-like than it was beforehand. So yeah, it was spread all over his face there, and I think he looks better.
Big announcement on the presidency.
Yeah.
What did you make of that appointment?
Yeah, look, in the end, I'm not reading a lot as such, but the only thing that I was aware of in regards to that was that the board were going through a process of not only appointing a president, a standalone president, but looking for new directors to come on board, director. So that process has been established and has taken place and has run its course at this point. Mark's been a really strong advocate on the board for a number of years, for a long time. Has a great passion for the football club and now has a chance to help us continue to progress on and off the field.
What's your relationship like with him? Do you have a particularly close one?
Yeah, well, in the end, I don't reckon there's really strong. I mean, the board is a board of governance. They play a really important role in how we set up the football club. Mark has been a consistent presence. He gets down the rooms, win or lose, and supports the players. Has always done so. So he's been a hands-on board member, and I'd expect the same thing from his presidency.
Do you sort of need to sit down with him to sort of gauge where things are at in terms of your future here at Collingwood, or is that ongoing anyway, given he was here? So?
Yeah, it's probably a chance to sort of set that record straight. Like, Eddie doesn't appoint the senior coach. Eddie appoints, and the board, or the president, and the board appoint the CEO, who appoints the director of footy, who makes the decisions about the football program. So if we could debunk that one, that'd be awesome. So no, I won't be sitting down with Mark about my position. I'm pretty sure that Mark will be sitting down with Mark Anderson and Ridey at some point, as the board will do periodically, to make sure that the club is tracking in the direction that and the vision that the board see fit.
Bucks, do you have a good idea what you need to do to get a new contract? Like, has that been pretty clearly stated to you?
No, we haven't. We're not sitting down talking about 2022 at this point. Obviously, there's different list management and development long term. Where you lift your eyes. But my job is to manage the coaches, the coaching panel, and to have the players in the best shape as possible to perform on a weekend, and there's some medium term aspects in that. But no, winning's probably the easy one. I don't need to have a conversation to know that. But there's also consistency of performance and growth from our club and from our team, and we are endeavouring to do that as best we possibly can, starting from Sunday.
Nathan, you said there's medium-term goals there. Is that looking to the future? Is that even starting rebuilding of the next generation of who's coming through?
Yeah, I think, we're never, if there's contending on one end and then rebuilding on the other, there's plenty of different stages in between. And we like to put things in nice, neat little boxes. But the fact is that we still believe that we can do some damage this year. We're not giving up on the year. We still feel that we can be, that we've got the elements to come together to be a really difficult side to beat. And if you do that consistently enough, you're going to win a lot of games of footy. So that's our intent. At the same time, we do believe that we've got enough growth in us there to be considering being better over the next 2 or 3 years as well. So, we've come off 3 successive finals campaigns, and we don't want that to discontinue. We're still aiming for finals, and we want to be a threat in finals when it comes to the pointy end. But you're always sort of lifting your eyes and looking for better, and if that means bringing some youth in or changing roles to suit the team and looking for better, we'll do that.
Just lastly, Nathan, if you guys, you might not have sat down and set out the logistics yet, but given what happened with the phones situation,
Yep.
I mean, have you knocked that on the head and said this is what's going to happen from
Yeah, I mean, Righty had a chat to the football program, because it's not just the players, it's staff as well that are under those guidelines. And yeah, maybe a little tongue in cheek around the concussion side of it with Geordie, but fact is that we didn't follow regulations. The box that the phones goes in should be locked and packed away, and the fact that the players had access to it was the issue. And yeah, we've paid our penance, copped our whack, and we definitely hope that you won't see us in that space again on the wrong side of it.